My husband filed for divorce 3 days after my cancer diagnosis. Now he wants to withdraw it because I'm cured? He told me on a Tuesday. I had been diagnosed on a Friday. 3 days. He gave me 3 days with a cancer diagnosis before he sat me down at our kitchen table and said he'd already contacted a lawyer. He said he'd been thinking about it for a while and the diagnosis just made him realize life was too short to be unhappy. Those were his exact words. Life was too short. I was the one with stage 2 breast cancer and he was the one worried about life being too short. We'd been married for 12 years, together for 14. I was 38 and staring at months of chemotherapy, and he was telling me he needed to find himself. His name is Dominic. I need you to remember that name because you need to understand the kind of man who looks at his wife after she gets the worst news of her life and thinks about himself. I asked him if there was someone else. He said no. He said he just couldn't handle what was coming. He said watching someone go through treatment wasn't something he was built for. He actually said that. He wasn't built for it, like I was. Like I woke up one morning and decided I was built to have poison pumped through my veins for 6 months. The divorce papers arrived 2 weeks later. I was already into my first round of chemo. I could barely keep water down, and a man in a polo shirt was at my front door handing me legal documents. My sister Colette drove down from 4 hours away that same week. She moved into my guest room and didn't leave for 7 months. She went to every single treatment with me. She held a bucket in the car when I couldn't make it home before getting sick. She shaved my head when it started falling out in clumps because I couldn't stand watching it happen slowly. She cooked food I couldn't eat just so there was something in the fridge in case I had a good hour. Dominic moved into an apartment 6 miles away. He took half the furniture. While I was doing my second round of chemo, he came by the house when Colette was picking up my prescriptions and took the television from the bedroom. He left a note on the nightstand that said he'd come back for the rest of his things later. I was in bed. I heard him come in. I heard him unplug the television and carry it out. He didn't come into the room to check on me. He didn't say a word, just took the television and left. Colette came home and found me staring at the empty wall where the screen used to be. She called Dominic and told him the next time he wanted to take something from the house, he could go through her. He never came back for anything else. I signed the divorce papers from a hospital bed during my 4th round of chemo. My hands were shaking so bad from the medication that my signature barely looked like mine. My lawyer handled everything else. I didn't ask for much. I kept the house because it was mine before the marriage. I kept my car. He kept his. We split the savings. I didn't fight him on anything because I was too busy fighting to stay alive. The divorce was finalized 5 months after he filed. I was still in treatment. He didn't attend the hearing. His lawyer showed up on his behalf. Mine attended over the phone because I was too sick to leave my bed that day. I finished treatment 3 weeks after the divorce was finalized. Then came the waiting. Scans every 3 months, blood work, checkups. Every appointment felt like standing in front of a firing squad wondering if this was the day they pulled the trigger. Colette stayed for 2 more months after treatment ended just to make sure I could function on my own. When she finally drove home, I sat on my porch for a long time and realized that I had survived the worst year of my life, and the man who promised to be there in sickness and in health had taken a television off my bedroom wall while I was too weak to stand up. 8 months after treatment ended, I got the call. Full remission. No detectable cancer cells. My oncologist said I was one of the strongest patients she'd ever treated. I cried in the parking lot for 20 minutes. I called Colette first. She screamed so loud I had to pull the phone away from my ear. I called my mother. I called my 2 closest friends. I did not call Dominic. He found out anyway. I don't know who told him. 2 days after my remission news, he sent me a text. 1 line. I'm so happy for you. I didn't respond. A week later, another text. I've been doing a lot of thinking and I made the biggest mistake of my life. I didn't respond to that one either. Then the calls started. I let every single one go to voicemail. The voicemails were long. He missed me. He was wrong. He panicked. He wasn't strong enough at the time, but he'd changed. He wanted to try again. He said he never